In this video, we're going to do a breakdown of how to do the duck dive using your foot. Now, this duck dive is normally performed in either larger surf or hollow waves where the whitewash really propels quite deep, and so the surfer is required to get much deeper underneath the water to get away from the turbulence of the wave. Now, 1.5 meters before the wave hits, you really want to make sure that you are paddling quite hard towards the wave. Especially when you are in bigger surf, it is important that you paddle quite quickly forwards because the wave is going to have a lot more energy than a shallow duck dive wave. So we really need to make sure that we have as much propulsion forwards as possible leading into our duck dive. Once you're ready to do your duck dive, place your hands on either side of the rails to start to drive the board down underneath the water, and make sure that your elbows are tucked in and not sticking out so that we are engaging our shoulder blades as much as possible, which is going to help us get that board nice and deep underwater. Then we want to make sure that we're looking down at where we want to go, again to help drive the nose of the board underwater as quickly as possible. Once we've done this, we want to bridge our back. Now, bridging the back is a really important, a really key component to driving that board underwater as quickly as possible. So just here you can see that I've bridged my back. I'm looking down. I've locked my arms, so I am forcing as much weight as I possibly can over the nose of the board to really drive it underwater as quickly and as steeply as possible. Now just here you can really see with all of that pressure, I've really bridged my back. I'm underneath the water now, arms are locked. The nose of the board is really angled down quite deep to where I want to go. Once I have bridged my back and done this, you'll see I place my back foot, my predominant foot, which for me being a goofy surfer is my left foot. I place it on the kicker or the stomp pad at the back of the board, and I start to place weight on my foot to help drive the board down so that the board is now as deep as I can possibly make it, and as the wave goes up and over. Now, one thing you'll notice is that my other leg is now sticking up out of the water, and with a deep duck dive or a foot duck dive, this can really help you because right now the wave is breaking up and over my body. Oh, sorry, it's actually more like this. And with my other leg sticking up, that's going to push towards my leg, and it's going to help kick the rest of my board up and out of the water. So right here, I'm as deep as I can possibly be with my duck dive. And then I want to drive that board. You can really see with my shoulders, I'm engaging my core, and I am driving that board as far forward as possible. I've released my foot, encouraged the board to go forwards. I bring my body back to the board, and then I'm able to go straight back into a paddle. So here is a great view from the top. My body is nice and streamlined. I'm looking at the wave coming towards me. About 1.5 meters to 2 meters before the wave hits, place my hands on the rails, tuck my elbows in, lock my arms, start to look down and bridge my back. I'm driving that board down as deep as I possibly can, and right now I'm getting my back foot onto that kicker or onto the stop pad to really help drive the board down and forwards. Now just here you really see my back leg lift up out of the water. Again, as that wave hits, it's going to hit my back leg and it's going to create this nice arch and accelerate me forwards, up and out of the water. So from the front, hands on the rails, tuck my elbows in, look down, bridge my back, place my foot, other leg comes up out of the water, drive the board forwards, and go straight back into a paddle. Now, this is the foot duck dive performed using a foam board. Now, again, it will be quite hard to get the nose of the board underwater because there is so much volume in a foam board, or you may be surfing a hardboard that has a lot of volume. So you really need to consider placing as much pressure as possible over the nose of the board using your shoulder blades, locking your arms in to help drive that board down, placing the knee right here on the back of the board, bridging my back, encouraging the board down. My back leg will lift up, drive the board forwards, bring my body back to the board and go straight back into a paddle. So again, here is a great view from the side, locking the board, placing my back foot, other leg lifts up, and then just here, my board is then going to shoot back forwards, bring my body back to the board, and go straight back into a paddle. So in summary, we paddle, we bridge, use the foot forwards, and then go straight back into a paddle again once you come up and out of the water.